Hey, how's everybody doing? I thought in this little segment I was gonna give my predictions on this year's Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Now, before I do this, just keep one thing in mind. I was following wrestling ever since like the early mid '90s, and I stopped around 2005, 2005 2006. A lot of it was graduating high school and working a lot, so I really didn't have a whole lot of time to watch it anymore. But I started getting back into it recently this year around this year's Elimination Chamber match, and I've really been getting into it. I've managed to get some family members involved too, including my wife, and it's just been really cool to get back into it again. But anyway, I'm coming into this as just your basic fan. I'm not getting any kind of insider information. I'm not looking anything up. This is basically the perspective of just a fan. So yeah, I'm gonna give. So we'll go through the match list. Starting at the bottom, Chris Jericho versus Ryback. Based off of what I've seen with Ryback and the research I've done, they built him up to be like this big force to be reckoned with. They're really not giving him the push he needs, which doesn't really make any sense, because you figure with like they did that with Lesnar. Like they pushed him, and then he was on top of the world. And Ryback is obviously an extremely strong guy, and he knows how to move in the ring. So I'm curious as to what they plan on doing with him. And same goes with Jericho. I mean, they're pretty much using both for just pay-per-view bait. But if I had to make a guess, for the sake of progressing the storyline, because Jericho's contract is not going to be extended much longer, I'm going to go with Ryback on this one. At least I hope he wins, because just for the sake of him getting more involved in other maybe different titles. So Ryback on that one. Money in the Bank All-Stars match. It's a tough match. I tell you who's not going to win it. RVD and Christian, not going to win it. I'm curious as to why they're bringing RVD back. I have nothing against him. I really enjoyed watching him in ECW, and I really enjoyed watching him during the whole Alliance and even post-Alliance in WWE. He's a very good athlete, but my biggest problem with him is his ethics outside of the ring. Like he got released due to drugs and possession, and even when he was doing the independent circuit, I mean he was, and I got confirmed on this. He was even like doing this stuff right before matches, so he was like going into matches blitzed on who knows what. So I really don't have a whole lot of respect for that. Christian. Again, have nothing against the guy, great athlete. I think he does deserve a title. I just don't know if the WWE title. I think they should give him another shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. I think it'd be really cool to have him kind of like be the big dog for a minute. I mean, he's got a lot of talent, but as far as representing the whole thing, I don't know. Sheamus and Kane, I'm gonna say no, only because Sheamus has won it a couple of times. Kane, I don't really see him holding it. They're barely even having him win matches now. So between Orton, CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan, I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan. He's been generating a lot of really good buzz with the fans. He's putting on amazing matches. He's got a personality that everyone likes. A lot of people say he's kind of a mix between a heel and a face, because he wants to prove he's not a weak link. That's why he kind of, because you can make the argument that last week he made Kane lose to Orton. But I really think it's time for him to give him a push. I mean, they already did it with Punk, and I wouldn't argue if they did it again. I think he's championship material all day, every day. But and Orton, it's one of those things where if he won it, that's cool, I guess. But he's won it a bunch of times. He's a wrestler I appreciate, but he's not really one that I'm like so ecstatic for. So those are my three: Orton, Punk, or Daniel Bryan. My prediction to win the whole thing. Sorry, moving the table and the camera. My prediction to win the whole thing: Daniel Bryan. Ziggler versus Del Rio. me kind of becoming a that'd be my phone. Me being slowly becoming a Ziggler fan, I would like him to win, but for the sake of progressing the storyline, I think Del Rio is going to retain. And I really don't have too much to say about that. I really don't think that much of anything. If anything, I dislike Del Rio more than I like Ziggler. I appreciate Ziggler for his athleticism, but he's winning a lot of really stupid matches. Like they're having him fight all the members of 3MB, and he crashes a party for Del Rio, and but I remember, if you're watching Payback, he got completely manhandled. But yeah, I think Del Rio retains. Miz versus Curtis Axel for the Intercontinental Championship. As awesome as the Miz is, Curtis Axel retains. Plain and simple. They're giving the Intercontinental title a little bit of a storyline push, which is good for them because they need to do something with it. It was boring with Wade Barrett, and and I think it's good. Let's see what they do with Curtis Axel. I think AJ Lee versus Caitlyn. I could care less. The only thing that I appreciate about that is the fact they're giving the Divas a storyline again, and it's not just who wins the match every pay-per-view. AJ Lee retains, and then I'm pretty sure that they're going to give another person a shot, either at SummerSlam or Night of Champions. Rollins and Reigns versus the Usos in a tag title match. Two things about this match. First of all, it's the kickoff match. Shield's going to retain. I kind of think it's extremely stupid that they're making that the kickoff match, but I think that has a lot to do with the fact that, first of all, no one really suspected the Usos to be, fighting the Shield right now. Because they were doing matches with Orton and Hell No, and before that it was Kane and Undertaker, and I don't know. I don't know what they're planning on doing with it. I feel like they're getting stale already with the Shield. A lot of people. Disagree if you want. I feel it's getting stale. The only good times I had watching it was the 6-man tag match right before Payback, where Hell No and Orton won, giving the Shield their first 6-man tag match loss. That was a good match. I don't think that as personas, they're not really developed yet, and a lot of people argue, well, they're the Hounds of Justice and believe in the Shield. And I said, yeah, but it's becoming an old routine, always interfering in each other's matches. There's no differentiation in anything. So yeah, Shield wins. Great. World Heavyweight Championship Money in the Bank match. Now this is the one it's really interesting. We got Wade Barrett, Cody Rhodes, Damian Sandow, Dean Ambrose, Fandango, Jack Swagger, and Cesaro. Right now, Barrett, Sandow, Fandango, and Cesaro will not win. Why? They're too bland. They're not going anywhere. And to give them a world title, or to give them a World Heavyweight Championship belt opportunity would be a waste of a pay-per-view. They just don't have that face value. However, Swagger, Ambrose, and Rhodes, they've all proven that they can beat the big guys. They can be a face on a pay-per-view. But I think for the sake of moving the storyline forward, Ambrose wins. Swagger was originally going to be the one holding the belt prior to his incident before WrestleMania 29. I think it's a little too early now for that, but you never know. So I have Ambrose winning that. And the main match of the night, Cena versus Mark Henry. I'm getting a little tired of Cena. I was full-on support of him when he first started back in 2002, I think it was. I remember his first match where he walked right out and he just took Angle right down to the mat. I remember his first U.S. title win over the Big Show. It was amazing, and that horrid title that he made right after. I remember when he won the Undisputed title from JBL, that was a big day. But I'm getting so sick and tired of his thing. It's the same thing. Rinse, rather, repeat with Cena. Wins the belt. His matches are all the same. He comes out, it starts off good. He struggles. He comes back. he gets a finisher on him, he kicks out, and then as they're getting ready to do another finisher, he wiggles out. He either puts him in his submission or he puts him in the AA. That's pretty much it. He's becoming predictable. Mark Henry, on the other hand, he's been out for 2 months. They're really trying to build off of his whole destructive behavior, and he's a force to be reckoned with. Granted, he's been like that for a while, but I really think that he is not, since he's not won the title, and they want to try and they want to give a new energy. I would love to see Mark Henry win this title. If Cena retains, I swear upon everything that is good, if they don't have him lose over the next 2 months, there's going to be a massive drop in fan base. And my apologies to you if you're a Cena fan. I have nothing against him. He's a great competitor, but I'll be honest, his matches are so predictable and they're boring. Every now and again, he might have a good match depending on the person. But yeah, I don't want to go into further detail about it. I can go on all day as far as why I don't really like Cena now. I think he's obviously the poster child of the company. He's representing all the fans in this PG era. I say let's change it up, give Henry the title, have him hold on to it for a few months, and then let's start moving around in a new direction. But yeah, that's pretty much what I think is going to happen at Money in the Bank. I'm really excited to see who wins those ladder matches. Hopefully we get some interesting results. I like to see what's going on with that whole Punk and Lesnar angle. I was kind of hoping that was going to be a match this month, but he got put in the All-Stars ladder match. So, oh well. But yeah, like I said, that's my predictions. Let me know what you think if you have an opinion on it. Yeah, and y'all take it easy and enjoy Money in the Bank.